So we're officially beginning. Very warm welcome, truly, to all of you. I'm happy you're here. I'm Avery. I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and on unceded Tiwa land. And I'm just so honored to get to share some yoga with you and get to have this community space that's just for queer and trans folks. That is a sacred, special space I've found. And so I'm excited to be here with you all. I want to first invite you to modify as much as you need, opt out, do what you want. You're allowed. You have permission, especially since it's over Zoom and most of you are new to me. I haven't been able to teach you in person. I'll tend to probably keep it a little on the conservative side in terms of what we do, but we will be doing some active things. And if you need to chill, if you want to do the same shape but on a chair, if you want to sort of do something completely different, lay down on the floor, basically you have permission. This is a high level of permission type of class. Welcome, Janelle, and anyone else who has hopped on. So we'll start sitting. You can start sitting on something. I recommend maybe a couple of folded blankets. Right? You could have some couch cushions, you could have a block, but the important thing about sitting up on height, the gift it gives us, is that then you can sit with the pelvis tall. If the pelvis tucks back, the inner pelvis compresses, our belly gets compressed, our organs don't have room, we can't breathe so well because the chest drops. There's a whole domino effect. So go ahead and sit up on some height if you have it. You could even sit on a chair, right? But sit so that you can broaden the sitting bones and have the back of your sacrum drawing in to the body rather than falling back, right? Experiment with what that feels like for you. To sit with a tall pelvis. Right away, stretch up your arms just to lengthen, lift the side walls of the chest up. Elongate, climb up through the spine, out of the pelvis. And then keep that lift through the sides of your rib cage as you rest the hands down, rest the shoulder blades down. And we'll just sit for a couple of minutes now to arrive into your body. You can close the eyes unless closing your eyes makes you feel anxious. In that case, just look down. Otherwise, you can close your eyes fully and soften your eyes. Relax the jaw. And let there be a sense of entering into your body with your awareness. Explore, shifting out of the mind, spreading your awareness down through the layers of your body. Feel what is there. Unclench the belly, soften the thighs. Let there be a sense of welcoming yourself into this practice. So every aspect of yourself, maybe even especially the parts that you might keep hidden from the rest of the world, all the aspects of yourself are welcome here in this practice, in your practice. Be with your breath as you build a bridge from the external to this internal sensing, awakening. And now as you bring the awareness down through the body, extend your awareness down into the earth. What would it feel like if your nervous system extended down into the earth like tree roots? Maybe you can even sense the earth acknowledging you as you acknowledge this earth, which is so lovingly supporting you, upholding you. Join your hands in front of the heart. Take a moment to acknowledge not only the land, the beings of this land, the spirits of this place where you are, the plants and animals, this ecosystem of which you are a part. As you feel, as you breathe, acknowledge the history of this place, the ancestors of this place where you are, the past, present, and future indigenous people of this place. Many of us are settlers. In Albuquerque, I'm on unceded Tiwa land. As you breathe, let yourself feel how your life is connected to this place, how your story is woven into the story of this place, this land. Your healing is interwoven in with the healing of this land and of the people. May our practice of yoga, our reclamation of embodiment, our inner awakening, uplift and nourish collective healing, collective awakening. May we understand the beauty of our interconnectivity. With this intention, let us offer 3 rounds of Om together. And then, since it's our first class together, I'd like to also offer the invocation to Patanjali with gratitude for yoga, for the lineage of Iyengar yoga. If you know it, you can join me. Exhale slowly, inhale deeply. Yogena cetasya padena vasham malam sharirasya javai jakena yopa karotam pravanam muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abahu purushakaram Shankachakra Sitarenam Sahasra Shirsam Svetam Pranimami Patanjalim Hari Om. Bow to your heart, to the infinite being within. Release your hands, lift your head softly, open your eyes. Welcome again. You can stretch out your legs. And I'd like to start in a pose called Parigasana. This is the gate latch pose. If you're on a hard floor, you might want to take a blanket under your knees. We'll be working with the legs and pelvis and hips some today. So you can just kneel. You can come up to a kneeling position. Have the thighs vertical. Bring the thigh bones back as you press down through the shins. And just be in this tall kneeling position. Welcome to anyone who may have joined during that opening. Good, many friends. Happy you all are here. So again, in case you missed the beginning, you can take it or leave it, right? You can adapt any of this so it works for your body. As you come up to this kneeling position, take your right leg out to the side, extend the inner thigh out as you wrap the outer thigh around and in. You can even press your knee back as you turn the belly and the pelvis to the left, opposite direction. From there, turn your arms, biceps out, reach up the arms. I'm going to scoot back a little so I can be more on the screen. As you reach up, again, lift the side walls of the chest. Can you decompress your spine, elongate? Take the arms wide, then extend out through the core of the arms, broaden the collarbones. As you spin the bottom of the collarbones up into the light. Now, keep your right knee to the right, turn to the left, turn the belly, turn the chest, reach way back through your left arm, and then just bring the elbow over to the side and come over, extend the side body. So right away, we're going for decompression. Create space inside for your circulation, for breath, for prana energy, also for your awareness to spread inside. Good, come up. Let's just do that on the other side. So there's two things we've done already. You can reach out through the inner thighs, you pull the outer knee in. Two things we've done already that help send a message to your nervous system that you are safe. Two things we've done already that are simple ways to help you shift out of that fight, flight, survival mode and into a little more of a balanced, restful, calm place in your nervous system. One of those things is noticing your breath, and the other is noticing the sensations in your body. So continue this exploration. Turn the back of the arms forward, reach up, stretch up, reach wide. Can you be with the sensation of your arms extending? Reach out through the core of the arms, spread wide through your chest. Turn away from your knee, but don't let the knee fall in. Keep turning the thigh open as you twist to the right. Take the elbow down, open the right side body. So this is a very simple, nice, accessible way of decompressing the spine. Open through the side ribs, reach and extend. Maybe your right lung has a little more room to receive breath. Inhale, come up. Great. Let's explore this a little further. Other side again. Reach up, reach wide, turn away, and then come over. Same thing, once again. Good. Come up. You could repeat that, or now, maybe you can flex the foot, straighten the leg. As you do, suction above your knee. Pull the quadricep close to the bone. So the knee joint is very firm and narrow. So you don't hyperextend the knee, but you straighten the leg fully. That's a special skill. From here, same thing. Turn away, reach out, and then you could come down to the floor, to your ankle. If you have a block, you could even have a block. Take the other arm up. As you squeeze the outer right thigh into the bone, turn the belly and the chest. Take your arm back. Turn and reach. And now spin the arm in the socket, palm faces overhead, reach overhead, and extend even more. Get longer and longer. Look at your fingers and reach. Very good. Inhale, come up, bend the knee. We're going to do one more action here, which is a fabulous opening for the inner pelvis, pelvic floor. So now just fold forward, extend the knee out over the middle toe. You're going to lunge to the side. So the sitting bone comes to the heel. And come back. Do this a few times, opening through the inner pelvis, the inner groin, which is a wonderful place to work with to help us feel stable, connected to the earth, at home in ourselves and in our lives. The pelvis relates to our sense of self, to all that root chakra survival, basic sense of self stuff is here. So we'll invite a little more freedom, stability to that region today. You can take the other side. Take your left leg out, open the knee to the side, reach up, reach wide, turn to your right, extend out, especially through your left arm, reach way back, and then come over. What a special thing to have a body as you turn and reach. Notice how perhaps the body is shifting, opening. Good, come up. Perhaps you can also sense that your ability to feel inside the body is shifting and changing. Again, bend a little and now pull the kneecap up like you would suction the kneecap all the way into the hip joint. So the top thigh muscle pulls against the bone. This helps secure the leg in the hip socket. Turn away, reach out, and same thing on this side. Turn and reach, extend, press down the whole length of your right shin, squeeze the outer left thigh in as you evolve and reach maximum. Look at your fingers and extend. And come up, bend. Now we'll take that little side lunge, not a classic pose, but a great action. Bend the knee, lunge to the side, sitting bone down, and just move in and out. So when we use movement, we're lubricating the joint. We're helping what may have been stuck shift, become more fluid, loosen up, integrate. Good, come back. All right, so one definition of integration I really like. Good, you can come onto the mat, long ways, tuck the toes under, just stretch forward. Adho Mukha Virasana. One definition of integration I like, which I believe comes from BKS Iyengar, is that integration is taking the parts of us that have been fragmented and returning them to the whole. So integration is really a form of reclamation, and especially because of social conditioning that has shamed us, or, for folks, especially with marginalized identities, there's this fragmentization that happens. So yoga can really be a way to come back to wholeness, come back to the wholeness that is you. So from here, shift up to hands and knees. We're coming to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now, let's do this in a fun way. This is especially good if you have tight shoulders. I want you to grab hold of the outer edges of your mat. If you have a mat, go ahead and grab the outer edges. So I have a fistful of mat. Then I tuck the toes under. Now, pull the mat forward. Like I'm trying to tear the mat. Pull your mat forward. Turn the biceps, the inner arms up as you press the shoulder blades into the body, and now stretch maximum through the side ribs. Now, keep the arms and spine in line. Keep the chest open. Walk your hands on top of the mat. Spread the fingers wide. Push from the front palms to the buttocks bones. And now can you press the thighs back and bring the heels down? If when you do that, the shoulders come forward, you lose the length of the front body, stay with bent knees. Otherwise, press the thigh bones way back, stand on the back heels, push through the arms. Go for maximum length in the spine, decompression. Step forward, fold, catch the elbows and hang. Exhale, soften your jaw, your brain, your eyes. And then hands to your hips, come all the way up. Okay, nice. So let's explore some of those same actions in the legs now standing. If you have blocks, you could bring them back behind for where we're headed, but you don't need them quite yet. Just stand in Tadasana, stand, join the legs. Spread the toes wide, the metatarsals wide. The metatarsals are the bones that connect to the toes. So spread them wide. It's like as if you could do this action with your feet. Pull the heel bones back. And have a sense that you're standing very tall on the earth, but also on the uplifted hands of all those who have come before. Maybe you have some radical ancestors in your family lineage, but also we stand on those who have come before us in our queer and trans lineages. Those who have carved out space for us to exist. So have a sense of standing tall on that legacy, this long lineage of beautifully intelligent, heart-centered rebels who were able to listen to their inner wisdom instead of the pressure of social conditioning. Harvest that strength now as you stand tall through the chest. And now as you draw that energy, knowing that on some level they lived in the way they did, not only for them, but for us. So we could be here now with a sense of connection and gratitude to all that we stand on. Prepare to jump. Now, if you're on your period today, if you have back pain, knee pain, you're just going to step, right? This is where we're headed. But jumping can be fun. We'll do it a few times. This is a nice way to get some energy moving. So now that we've created that deep groundedness, have a sense that as you jump, those ancestors, if you will, are like throwing you up. So you get a huge buoyancy to fly. Prepare by bringing the hands in, bend the knees, and inhale, and jump the feet apart. Go for a big jump. Yes, awesome. Stamp down the outer heels. Find again that grounding. Lift the chest. Reach out through the core of the arms. Now take the arms around and up. Just do this a few times. So you really can feel like the arms are wings and you're going to get some air with this action. And then as you're ready, use the arms in that way to jump back in. Or step, yeah? So you can go with steps or jumps with that same sense of buoyancy. Let's do it a couple more times. Bend the knees and jump. The feet out, wide wings, long spine, strong legs. Swing the arms and jump back in. Tall Tadasana. Bring your arms up. Look up and out as if looking over a wide horizon. Bend the knees. Jump. Or step the feet wide. And jump back in. Final one. We're going to stay with the feet wide now. Jump or step. And stay. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. Press the outer heels down. Again, turn the arms. Reach up. Stretch up through the spine. Reach the arms wider than you have before, as if there's a huge rainbow between your upward facing palms. Good. Rest your hands. Turn the right leg out, inner to outer. This is very much the same thing we did in Parigasana. Turn the inner thigh to the outer thigh. Press your inner heel down. Just bend, 90-degree angle. Woo, come up. Now, if your knee went beyond the heel, take the back foot further back. And now really press your back heel down. Draw the inner knee forward, 90-degree angle. So really, I know it's more work, but bring the thigh parallel to the floor. It will be less load on your knee and better for the hip. Good. Come up. This time we'll add in the arms. Reach up, stretch wide. Virabhadrasana 2. Turn the palms up, spin the biceps back. Keep the chest like this as you turn the palms down. Draw the inner right knee forward. Warrior 2. Squeeze the outer right thigh in as you lift the chest. Reach out through the core of the arms. Standing tall and strong, harvesting that support from below. Palms up, reach up to come out of the pose. So every time we reach up and we lengthen the spine, we unload all the joints below. Let's do that on the other side. Turn the left leg out, right toes in, 90-degree angle. And come back. Just reach out through the inner knee as you descend the groin. And come back. Reach up. Reach out wide. Draw the inner knee forward. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Harvest this vitality, strength. Turn to look out over the fingers. And bring the arms up, reach up to bring you out of the pose. Parallel the feet, step or jump back in. Nicely done. Okay, so now we're going to build on this. This is where you might want to have your blocks. Parshvakonasana is extended side angle pose. Bring the arms up, step or jump, the feet wide. And bring your hands to your hips again. Turn the right leg out, left toes in. The legs are very similar to the last one, only now your pelvis is going to be in a different position. So explore here how you can pour the pelvis to the side and come back up. See if it's possible. It's a bit like you're pouring tea into a teacup. Okay. Now, keep your back heel pressing down. Draw forward, 90-degree angle in the front leg. By the way, you could totally do this shape sitting on a chair, right? As you sit down, make sure the knee faces the middle toe. Squeeze the outer thigh in, close to the bone. Reach up. Stretch up. This time, turn your right palm upward and pull. Open the side ribs. And now reach out to come all the way down. So your right hand comes down to the floor, inside, outside, or a block. Sit down with the right sitting bone, press the back heel down. And now just as we did before, take the arm up and turn. So spin the belly and the chest away from your right thigh. Reach back behind you, reach, extend. And now turn the arm and reach overhead. Descend the right sitting bone as you press the back heel and look towards your fingers as you reach. Longer, longer. Exhale. Inhale to come up. Parallel your feet. Woo, I know it's a lot of work, right? But it's a good type of work because this strong muscular work helps purify our mind. One definition of yoga is skill in action. And in order for skillful action, we have to be awake, conscious, free from all that conditioning, all those patterns from the past. So use this work in the body to clear your mind. Let's do the other side. Turn. the other leg out. Again, just take this action in the pelvis. Here the pelvis is upright, then I'm pouring the pelvis to the side. It might be an unfamiliar action to move the pelvis. It's easier to move your foot or your leg. Can you keep the leg solid and move the pelvis? Good. Then 90-degree angle, reach up. Turn your palm up, pull the wrist up, open the side ribs. Open the windows of the side ribs. Let some fresh air in. And now reach out. Now is where the pelvis pours to the side. Pour the pelvis to the side. Reach out and come down to the floor where you're blocked. Squeeze the outer left thigh in as you straighten the back leg all the way. Take your arm up. Turn the belly and the chest up. Take your arm back as if to embrace the sky. Can you be here without running away from what is happening in the body? Turn the arm, reach overhead, stretch and extend from the back heel all the way through the fingers. Hallelujah. And inhale to come up, parallel the feet. Ah, nice, just step in. Keep the feet on the wide side, stand tall on the heel bones. Perhaps your feet can spread and caress the floor with a little more sensitivity, awareness of that sacred connection where our bodies connect down to the earth. Turn, fold, rest in Uttanasana. Now, if the back is really rounding, then better to bend the knees so you can lengthen the lumbar spine down lower than the sacrum. However, if your lower back is releasing down lower than the sacrum at the back of your spine, the lower, lowest part of the spine, the sacrum, is the back of the pelvis. If your spine is lower than that, then straighten the legs. Bring the outer hips forward so the hip joint is right over your heel. Press the thigh bones back and come down. Exhale, lengthen the neck, soften your jaw. And hands forward, step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. Now that we've done just a couple of standing poses, external rotation poses, notice if your downward dog feels different. Step forward, rest in Uttanasana, standing forward, fold. Relax the face, the jaw. Very good. And hands to your hips, come all the way up. Ah, all right. So we'll shift modes a little. This is where you want to have a chair. Chairs are handy. You could use any old chair from around your house. And in addition, if you have a little towel or a blanket, then roll up a blanket. So we don't have to use props in yoga, but they are wonderful gifts that bring our body out of the old patterns and into new possibility. And the body is so great because it's tangible. We can feel it, right? It's sometimes trickier to change a pattern in your mind or your emotions. But as we work to bring organization to the body, it affects those deeper layers. It's a way we can organize the mind in a more tangible way, bringing the body out of its old patterns. And so one pattern that's super common is the hamstrings are tight. And if the hamstrings are tight, if you've been sitting a lot, which most of us have been during the pandemic, the pelvis is pulled, the sitting bones get pulled down. So then the groins push forward, my spine is compressed, there's a whole domino effect. If my hamstrings can lengthen so that the sitting bones can have freedom, the pelvis can have freedom to move dynamically, then my spine has the possibility of length. So if you have lower back issues, opening the hamstrings is a great way to do. And this will be a way to explore that. So you're going to step your feet up. My heel on the floor, my arch on the rolled blanket. And you're just going to have both feet like that. Now, for some of you, the hamstring might be so tight that this is happening, right? If that's happening, you could turn your chair around. You could do it this way. You could also have a block maybe or some books to put on your chair. You can play with this. But we're going to take a forward bend here. First the concave spine, then coming down lower, okay? So just have the heels on the floor. My feet are on the wide side, yeah? About as wide as the outer hips. This is a version of Parahastasana, hand, foot, pose. Spread your toes wide. Lengthen the chest forward. Next week, we'll be focusing more on forward bends, but this is a useful one as we prepare to do a couple more standing poses with the pelvis squared forward. Bend the knees just a bit. Can you lift and broaden the sitting bones? So the opposite of this, lift, broaden the sitting bones. Notice if trying to lift the sitting bones, if your low ribs end up trying to do it. This movement is not the pelvis, right? So keep the back ribs extending forward. Don't grip the low ribs, adrenal gland zone. Rather, can you find that movement just from the pelvis? Pull the kneecaps up, press the thighs back. If all is well, and you can keep the front spine long, maybe you come down onto your forearms. Careful not to tip back. Keep the legs vertical. Press the thigh bones back. Maybe you can rest your head. Maybe you even come down to the floor and let the head release down below the chair. See what's possible. Grip the kneecaps up, press the thighs back, release the jaw, the head. So you can stay at any part of that continuum. When you're done, just come up. Concave spine, long front spine. Step off of your blanket, spread the toes, then stand up. So now maybe your heel bones have a deeper connection to the floor. Yeah, I hope. All right. Goodbye, chair. Thank you, chair. Unless you don't have a wall, we're going to actually use the wall for the next one. I'd like to take Virabhadrasana 3 now. This is a really strong pose, and it's useful to have long hamstrings, which is why we just prepared it. If you don't have a wall, or you need a little more of a supported pose, just watch once, you can come to this shape, and you can do the pose this way, yeah? But the secret of this pose is you really want to keep the pelvis level with the floor. In other words, I don't want to open the pelvis, right? It's a different pose. So you could use the chair. It's a little more of a challenge to do it at the wall. But the nice thing about the wall is I get to really emphasize this length decompression in the spine. Okay? So choose to do the chair or the wall. It's your choice. Let's do it together. Hands on the chair or hands at the wall. You can have your hands about hip height. Just stretch forward. You could also have the hands on the top of a table, a windowsill, whatever's around. Just go for a long, long spine. Let the power in your legs, buttocks, give length to the spine. Stretch the hips back. Now stamp down the right heel, pull the kneecap up. Stretch your left leg back. Reach back through the left heel. Get longer and longer from your fingers all the way to the left heel. Reach back. And now roll the outer left hip down as you squeeze the right thigh into the midline. Very good. Leg down. Stretch back. Take a rest in Uttanasana. And bend the knees. Reach the chest forward. Stand up. Let's do it on the other side. Stretch the fingers to the wall or hands on the chair. Pull the sitting bones back. Press the mid-thigh bones through the hamstrings. And now as you stand tall on your left leg, reach up and back through the right leg. Roll the outer right hip down. Extend through the back heel bone as you Reach forward through the arms. Decompress yourself. Get longer and longer. Very good. Bring the foot down. Fold. Uttanasana. Hands down, step back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward dog. And step, or maybe even jump forward and stand up. Okay. So we have one more pose to do. How are you doing? I think we have time. Yes, perfect. We're going to take Virabhadrasana 1 now. And in the system of Iyengar yoga, often we start with standing poses. So that's why we're focusing on that this week. It won't be the focus all the weeks. But I wanted to give you these warrior poses so you can really cultivate a sense of will, sense of clarity, sense of strength within yourself that has nothing to do with anything in the external world. And so I want to share this quote from B.K.S. Iyengar that I love. He says, "In your discipline, if doubt comes, let it come. Do your work, let doubt carry on with its work, and see which gives up first." So sometimes we need to surrender and rest, like that's a major component. And sometimes we need to cultivate some tenacity to get through whatever it is that we are here for, right? That we've decided to show up for. So I want you to have a sense as we do this final standing pose, Warrior 1, that you're cultivating this tenacity that you can overcome any doubt and any external obstacle, really. Okay, so let's do Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1. So you can stand in the middle of your mat. We're going to step or jump into the pose. And we can just do it together. Spread the toes, lift your chest. Find your Tadasana. And notice if there is an awareness of the midline of your body available. Maybe all of this work has carved out some space so that you can actually feel the center of your body, not just the surface. And if you can feel that midline, extend it down through the heels, up through the crown of the head. So you're a conduit between the earth and the cosmos. You're a living manifestation of the present moment that connects what has happened in the past and what will happen in the future. That's where we are right now. That's what we are. And so may this next pose give us the vision, the strength, the dedication to create from that place of deeper imagination, inspiration, vision perhaps of justice, of healing, that is a departure from the past, from the momentum of these systems we are in. Bring the hands up, bend the knees, jump, or step the feet wide. Utthita, it means extended, expanded. Hands, feet, hasta, padasana. Now, turn the palms up and bring the arms up. Extract the spine far out of the pelvis. Turn the right leg out, turn the left toes in, and even bring your left foot a little more forward. And bring your pelvis all the way around. In fact, bring your hands to your pelvis so you can feel your pelvis with the hands. Feel how the hips face forward. They're really forward, on the path forward. Pull the front kneecap up, squeeze the outer thigh in, and now stand on the back heel. Straighten the back leg, draw the tailbone in, and stand on the back heel. Take the arms up, reach up, lift the chest, And now draw the inner knee forward, 90-degree angle. Come down and then press the back heel as you reach up. Look up, stretch up. Breathe in the strength, vitality, the willingness to fully show up. And now reach up to release. Good. Keep the arms up. Right away, the other side. Turn the leg out. Back toes in. Square the pelvis forward. Stretch up through the spine. Elongate. Draw the inner left knee forward. And now press the back heel down. Draw the tailbone in. Stretch up through the spine, the arms. Glorious. Strong. Alive. Inhale to come up, parallel the feet. Very good. With the feet parallel, just fold forward, hands down. Walk the hands forward and stretch. So it's a forward fold, but this time go forward with your hands so the hands and spine are doing downward dog. But the thighs, hips, stay back in line with the heels. Elongate. Oh. Very good. Bring the hands in below your shoulders. Come on up, step in. One final Tadasana, feel your legs. Maybe you can really have a sense of standing tall on the legs. Hip joints stable, organized, free. So there's a natural buoyancy, like a geyser of energy in your chest. A source of vitality that is inside of you, uplifting you. Very good. Come down. Visit downward dog one final time. Downward facing dog pose. Just to observe what has changed, what has evolved in the body. And bend the knees, release. So now we're going to take a little supported back bend. And if you have a bunch of props, you could certainly use them in some supported back bend. I'm going to just show something very simple in case you don't have a lot of stuff. So the idea here is that you'll roll up a blanket. In fact, maybe you have that rolled blanket from earlier. Now it's going to go under the chest. And then take a pillow. It could be just a couch cushion, a folded towel, or maybe a folded blanket. And you'll have that under your head, rolled blanket under the chest. That rolled blanket could be something bigger, like a bolster. Oh, good. Yeah, no problem if you have to leave early. Lay back. Open the shoulder blades over the support. So the support is not at my low ribs. It's really up in my upper chest, yeah? And then you can rest the knees together. You could rest the feet kind of in a swastikasana like we started with, cross-legged position. If you have Virasana in your practice and it's super comfy for you, you could even do Virasana, right? But for most of you, this or this will be the way. So just come into a passive, comfortable little chest opening now. Be here for a couple of minutes. After all that strong work with the legs, now let the chest soften and receive the decompression, the opening. Your beautiful, strong heart. Soft lungs, soft jaw. You could close the eyes and just receive the breath. This rich, life-giving breath. How easily now can you receive the breath as it flows in? And then as you exhale, what can you let go of? Can you be with your breath for the last minute or so here? Feeling your inhalations, and especially feel your exhalations. Good. From here, we will slowly come up. You can roll off to the side or sit up symmetrically, whatever feels best for you. And now we're going to shift into one more thing before our final Shavasana. You could set your blanket aside. Now, if laying on your back is not comfortable for you, you have that chair. You could use a couch. You can always rest your legs up on a chair as an option, right? But we're going to do Shavasana now without the chair, unless you need it. So it's there if you need. But what I have in mind to do is visit a little twist on our way into Shavasana. So quick demo, just so you know the plan. It'll go like this. We'll rest in Baddha Konasana. So the feet together, knees wide. Then I'm going to come over. I pull my hip underneath as I rest my knees to the left, and my arm, my right arm, is resting on the floor to the right. So we'll visit this little twist each side. And from there, extend the legs and come to Shavasana. All right. So you can just lay back, have a little pillow, lengthen the tailbone away from your lower back, and now just let the bottom sacrum become heavy. Soften the belly, the inner body. And from here, with the heels in close, join the heels and let the thighs fall open. So this is, a pretty deep stretch for the inner groins. We won't be here too long. Engage the outer thighs to support the inner pelvis opening. And from here, take the right knee up, plug your left thigh into the socket as you bring the knees over. Of course, you could take a blanket between the knees or even under both knees if you need, so that your right shoulder can stay down. Turn the chest, soften through the length of your spine, and just take this gentle twist. It's like a laying down Bharvajasana. Let the spine and inner organs receive. Twisting is a wonderful reset for the vagus nerve. Helps us shift out of survival mode. So good for the vital organs. Can you soften as you exhale? Good. Come back up. Let's visit the other side. Come back. You could visit Baddha Konasana. And then take this twist on side 2. Plug the right thigh bone into the socket as you bring the left thigh over. And as you turn, as you soften, can you find a sense of gratitude for yourself, for making the time for this practice, for having the courage to perhaps try something new? For valuing yourself, spending time in a way that has nothing to do with the way capitalism defines productivity. Now come back to center. You can visit the Baddha Konasana bound angle pose one final time. And then let's arrive into our final Shavasana. So you could stretch out the legs. Oh, I'm just seeing some friends who are here. I'm just so happy you all are here. Stretch out the legs. Let the thighs fall away from the midline as you come to Shavasana. Take whatever is needed so you really can be comfortable here. Support the neck and head so the chin is a little bit lower than your forehead. You can close your eyes. Again, as an option. Go for what is most settling and quieting for you. And now let yourself receive. Let yourself completely relax, melt, and be held in the loving support of the earth. Let loose through all the layers of your body. We did a lot of strong work with the hips. Now, is it possible to let them soften? Release the outer pelvis. Relax the inner pelvis. All these layers melting, spreading, dissolving. As you let go. This letting go is truly the gateway to integration. Soften the jaw, soften the face, the eyes, allow the brain to melt back. Every breath, letting go, letting go. Let your breath deepen. You can rest your hands on your heart, bend the knees one at a time. Just notice how you feel. There's no wrong way to feel. You can roll to the side and rest. Can you stay soft within yourself? Push down through the hands to lift up. Come to sit very tall. You can bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And for just a moment, hold yourself with immense compassion, gratitude for having come this far, for making it to this moment. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you have something you need to jump into that's right at 12, feel free to head out, but I'll stick around for another moment. Yeah, So honored to get to share this work. I feel like I get to teach how I really want to teach when I'm teaching um, queer trans community. Fancy that. So it's just such a nice thing to be here with you all. I'll go ahead and stop the recording. But thank you also for those of you that use the recording. You're here too. Your energy is woven into this as well. And yeah,